Hello, Kirk MacDowell. I'm chairman of the LINC committee. LINC is the Leadership, Identification, and Nominating Committee, and we are here to run and administer the 2026 ESA Board of Director elections. Before I get started, I would very much like to thank the LINC committee, who has worked tirelessly to bring you a good and qualified slate of candidates. Those members are Kelly Bond, Joe Colosimo, Mark Kellenberg, Tracy Larson, Aaron Selma, and a special thank you to Stu Forsheimer, good friend of mine, who graciously gave up his position so Aaron could come on to the committee. We like to rotate people in and out, and so special thanks to Stu. LINC's mission is to find quality and qualified candidates to serve you, our members of ESA. Each candidate has been vetted by ESA to be either the primary or the alternate voting member of their company, and a outside source has also verified that these people are in good standing in their community, in the industry, and at their company. So here's how it's going to work, a little bit different from last year. I am going to interview the three non-contested candidates, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then I'm going to interview each contested candidate one-on-one, so you have a chance to take a look at all the candidates and make your selections. Certain dates are very, very important, and this is all you need to do is remember these dates and you're good. On April 21st, ESA will send out to the primary voting rep ballots to be filled out by the primary voting rep of your company. If you don't know who that is, you can talk to Taylor Criddle from ESA or myself. We'd be happy to help you. Secondarily, if we don't hear back from the primary vote member of the company, on April 28th, about a week later, we send it out to the primary and to the alternate member as well, so we make sure we get the votes back in. On May 14th, all the ballots are due by 2 p.m. Central Time. I then, as LINC chair, will call each member and let them know if they made it or they did not make it. And then on June 1st at ESX, because I know you're all going, all the board, the new board will be sworn in along with our new chairman, Jeremy Bates, and Kevin Stone, of course, will be stepping down then as chairman. It's been great working with Kevin, and I look forward to working with Jeremy in 2026, 2027. So here's where we are now. Let's talk about contested and non-contested election today. So contested does not mean, it's not a negative term. Contested means we have more people running for an office than we have slots. So the contested elections are for the associate members. We have three people running. We have Dean Belisle, who's the incumbent from DMP. We have Don Morrow from Highland Tech, and we have Quentin Gunther from Residio. So that will be, you'll be able to vote for one of those three, and we're going to be interviewing all three candidates, so you'll be able to see that after this video is over. On the national security company director, or national company director, I should say, we have two people running. We have Holly Borgmann from ADT, and we have Brian Robertson from Comcast. And neither one of those are incumbents, so you will have a chance to listen to all these people and then make your vote accordingly. We are very excited about having you participate in ESA elections. Please vote. We are honored to do this on behalf of all members and look forward to watching the videos with you after they're all done. Brian, welcome.
Thanks, Kirk.
And first of all, thanks for running. Really, really appreciate it. So tell the listeners a little bit about your background in the industry.
Yeah, so first I want to just thank you and thank ESA and the LINC committee for the opportunity. You know, I have to say, when I was doing this, thinking process of my journey in the industry, man, have I been doing this a long time. But interestingly enough, I still love what I do. So I started in the industry down in South Florida with a local low voltage company that primarily focused on residential and commercial systems. I did that for a couple of years, and then I came across an ad in the paper. It was a startup company by the name of Brinks Home Security, where I had the pleasure of spending approximately 25 years there, doing everything from pulling wire, installing equipment, jumped into service, started in the operation field in terms of overseeing about 1,000 technicians. In those 1,000 technicians, that consisted of our new construction department, service, obviously, installation, and more importantly, the builder program, which just really took off towards the end. Shortly after that, when Brinks was acquired, I joined Monotronics and CPI Security, where I oversaw their authorized dealer program, which was an interesting side of the business. But I learned a lot from there.
So Monotronics and CPI, two separate companies, right? I want to make sure that.
Two separate companies. Yeah. Monotronics is now Brinks Home, and then CPI is still CPI. So
right.
Two separate programs. And thereafter, during that time, I was recruited by Doug Bassett at Comcast. I joined his compliance team as a senior manager of compliance, and to begin pursuing, at that time, they wanted to launch the business across the country, pursuing 18 state licenses that I hold today, as well as my NICET certification. And then obviously assist the business and grow into the success that they've become today. A few years later, I was promoted to a director of compliance. And at that point, I was tasked to launch their commercial CCTV business, in which I'm still involved in both of those businesses today. Interestingly enough, during this time, I've had the opportunity to engage in numerous industry activities. I sit on the NFPA code writing committee. I'm affiliated with 3 state police chiefs alarm management committees through SEAC. Also just joined the advisory committee for SEAC. And I'm also involved in various ESA commitments. Previously, the education committee and codes and standard, and currently the government affairs committee. Honestly, I've been truly blessed with a wide range of experience and embraced by this industry, that has helped me grow in my career. And it's just so important for me to continue, to give back, specifically for what the members are facing today in the environment that we're in. I mean, with AI and all of the different code changes and ordinances, it's a rough situation that we're in, and we've got to stay on top of it.
Well, speaking about giving back, hey, thanks very much for that in-depth background, Brian. In terms of your commitment to the industry, what do you plan to bring to the table if elected to ESA Board of Directors as a national company director?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, obviously the industry is evolving quickly, as I mentioned before, AI and all of the changes that are occurring. I'm looking to bring a fresh perspective to the ASA board. I want to apply what I've learned over the years, help advance the association and obviously its members nationwide. I had the opportunity to also be a part of the IAF in Florida. So I was on that board for about 4 years in different roles. Also the TNSI in Tennessee. And as I mentioned previously, some of the committees with ESA, like the Education Codes and Standards and Governmental Affairs. If I'm given this opportunity to be an active member of the board, I will continue closely to work with the board to support our national members. I think the relationships with SEAC, NFPA, obviously the ESA training needs are critical to not just the association, but all of our members as well. There's a lot changing, as I mentioned. And really, lastly, with all the increasing false alarm ordinances, which is something that I didn't really hit on, the regulatory changes, the code standard updates, I want to be engaged with the board members and navigate through these complex issues. I'm committed to leveraging my experience and being, a positive representative for the members.
Great. Well, listen, Brian, hey, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Again, I appreciate your commitment to run for the board. I appreciate Comcast's commitment to ESA, and I want to thank you very, very much. So remember, constituents, people that are voting, don't forget those dates we mentioned earlier. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to ESA or myself. So Holly, welcome. Thanks very much. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I tell people that I am, I think, the luckiest person in the security industry because our companies all compete in the marketplace for customers, distribution channels, suppliers, the best deal, the best opportunities in every area except government affairs. So I work in the one area where everybody works together. And I would say that 99.9% of the time when it comes to policy issues, we're all in sync. So if an issue impacts ADT, my company, or it impacts Bob's Alarm Company in Johnson City, Tennessee, we both care and we both are interested in that same outcome. And so these are the areas where we all work together. We tap each other for contacts and together we make the industry a little bit better. And so that's been my entire experience in the security industry. I started in 2013 when I came here from the food industry, so totally different. I've been at ADT working in our headquarters in Florida ever since. But because we operate in every state, I've been able to work in, I would say, most states to figure out what's going on. And I've loved every minute of it. I've gotten to know people. I've worked with you and a number of other leaders in the industry on different boards, and we've made meaningful changes. So I'm so happy that I've been able to have this experience, and I look forward to continuing to work within the industry and around the industry to make the industry better.
Hey, thanks, Holly. I appreciate that. And it wouldn't be Bob's Alarm in Johnson City, Tennessee. It'd be Will Fleener's Alarm in Johnson City, Tennessee. But
fair point. Fair point.
Who's protecting my home right now as we speak? So, if you were elected to ESA Board of Directors as a national company director, tell me how you perceive that position and what would you do for your fellow national company directors?
So I see this as one, helping out the other national companies and representing us because our needs are a little unique in that we are impacted by what goes on in every state, not just in a particular market. So we don't always have the luxury of being able to sit out if something is going on in a different region. So I think that the benefit of what I would be doing is that I can take best practices that I've encountered from around the country and help to bring those to bear or copy those procedures in other states. So while I would be the national company representative, I would be looking out for everyone in the industry because there's no one issue that is just a national company issue. I mean, to some extent on the policy side, there may be a few that impact us a little more than others, but for the most part, I'm not looking at this from just a national company perspective. I'm looking at this from an all of industry perspective, and I'm hoping that I can leverage the insights that I've gained by working in every state around the country to help make all of us better. Because someone who operates in just one state may not realize that they have the toughest regulatory environment in the country, or that they have something really unique because they've taken it for granted. And I hope to shine a light on that, show how we've been able to make the industry better in certain markets, and then replicate that around the country.
Great. Well, listen, thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. I appreciate that opinion and the kind of the way your thought process is about that. Because you're right. Nobody there's not one board member that only represents their company, no matter what position they are. And this is Holly is the last interview I'm doing in this series. And I will tell you that the members of the organization really have one job to do right now, and that's to vote. You need to vote where your heart is, where your mind is, where you think who will represent you the best in our industry. It is an absolute honor to serve on the board of directors, and I serve on the board, but I'm what they call a competency director, not an elected director, and that's why I'm eligible or able to conduct these interviews, because I don't run. I serve at the direction of the chairman, and my role comes up every 2 years. So whether or not Jeremy wants me to continue is strictly up to him. Thank you very much, Holly. I really appreciate it. Everybody, don't forget to vote and the dates. If you do have any questions on any aspect of voting for ESA, reach out to Taylor or myself, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks again, and don't forget to vote. See you. Bye.